So majority of my time on a Sunday is actually spent cleaning. Now growing up, this is something that I used to do on a Saturday morning before I was ever allowed to go out, but just by the nature of how my life is as an adult now, especially seeing as I live alone, I find it's a bit easier for me to clean on Sundays when I come back from church because I can just rest, I can take my time and do what I need to do. So I start off by cleaning the kitchen. I'm literally going around taking apart everything and going in with the anti-bac and sometimes bleach because I really like things to be clean. And I feel like if I do this every week, then I only have to do a deep clean once a month as opposed to doing a deep clean every week, which takes super long and I don't have time for that basically. For me, cleaning regularly is so good for two different reasons. First of all, it's obviously nice to live in a clean space, but also just for my mental health and my mental well-being, cleaning is super, super important. I always find at times where I start to feel a bit more low, a little bit more depressed, I want to stay in bed and I don't want to be productive, those are the times where I've let my cleaning slack. So now that I've managed to build cleaning into my weekly routine, and it's also in my daily routine as well, but it's definitely part of my Sunday reset, I feel so much more better in my own space. Okay, so once I've finished with all of that kind of, deeper cleaning with like the bleach and the anti-bac, I get into the floor work and I sweep the whole space. If there's one thing I've realized through living alone is that dirt literally builds up out of thin air as far as I'm concerned, because I actually sweep my apartment every day and there is still stuff to sweep on a Sunday. I just don't understand where all of this mess comes from. It makes no sense to me. After sweeping the kitchen, I've kind of finished putting everything away. Most of my dishes are actually in the dishwasher as well. I then moved to my bedroom. Now, I try not to work too much from my bed, but sometimes when I'm feeling tired, I just got to get the laptop out and do my work from there. So that's why my laptop's on the bed. But first thing I like to do is just strip the bed and put everything into the washing machine. And then once I've stripped the bed, then I can think about some of the other things that I need to do as well, in terms of putting away my bags, putting away all the other things in my room too. So one thing that I kind of have a love-hate relationship with in my apartment is the fact that I have a washer dryer. Now, it is convenient for when I kind of just need to wash something quickly and need to wear it that same day. It's lovely to have a dryer, but I do find it strange that Americans don't really have the concept of hanging their clothes out to dry. So sometimes I like to just go and hang some stuff in the bathroom if I can, like towels and things like that. But if I just need to do things quickly, then I'll just put it in the dryer and put everything away. Then I've moved to my bathroom to come and clean this. Now, this is actually one of my favorite places in the apartment to clean. I don't actually really know why. Even when I was back at home in the UK, that was the one place in the house that I would happily sit there and clean for hours. Once I finish cleaning everywhere and whilst the laundry is on, the next thing I like to do as part of my kind of Sunday reset is cook myself a really nice dinner. I also have a think about what I want to cook for the week, but I don't actually cook my meals for the week in terms of work until Monday, because I always work from home on Mondays. So that's a great time for me to just kind of dedicate, an hour, 2 hours to just cooking meals for the week. But on a Sunday, I cook myself whatever I want, and I try to have a different meal every week. So this Sunday I made myself some stuffed sweet potatoes, which you're going to see me doing, and then I kind of sat down whilst the sweet potatoes were in the oven for an hour to do my to-do list. So the way that I do my to-do list for the week is that I like to write down, 10 or so things that I feel like I need to get done. I usually just write this on my notes. So this is a Mac, so my notes are synced to my phone as well, and then I can always check them on the go. And then every day when I'm setting my intentions and I'm setting my to-do list, I can have a look at my weekly to-do list and make sure that I pick things from there as well. Back to making my stuffed sweet potato. I'm starting to make the actual stuffing for it. So in the stuffing I just put some chicken, some spinach because I need my iron, some bell peppers, and then obviously my main kind of staple, so a little bit of ginger, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion, just enough to flavor it kind of. So I'm just chopping everything. Everything is finely chopped. The chicken is also shredded as well. I'm just going to toss all of that together in the skillet for about 3 to 5 minutes. The chicken is already cooked, by the way, so it's not undercooked chicken, don't worry. So I actually find that quite a lot of the time I prefer to fry things with olive oil butter instead of my usual vegetable oil, especially if I'm frying something that's vegetable based. I just find that when you use kind of olive oil to fry vegetable based things, the flavor comes out a little bit nicer. That being said, you can definitely still use vegetable oil, and like if I don't have olive oil butter, I definitely do use vegetable oil, so there's nothing wrong with it. I just prefer the flavors of the olive oil butter there. So I went in and seasoned the stuffing with a little bit more garlic. I absolutely love the flavor of garlic, a little bit of chili and a little bit of black pepper, just enough to kind of bring out the flavors. I don't like to season vegetables too much, but I do sometimes think that they need a bit of help with their flavoring. So once the sweet potatoes have been in the oven for about an hour and 10 minutes on a fairly high heat, mine's on 350 Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is in Celsius, but you can obviously Google it. Then you just go in and you split your potato in half and you scoop out a little bit of the middle. I just scoop it out and eat it because I'm not wasting no food around here. And then I put my stuffing into the middle of the potato. And it's gonna go back into the oven. So this is why when I was kind of frying the stuffing, I only fried it for 3 to 5 minutes. It didn't need to be fully kind of ready because I knew it was gonna go back into the oven for another 10 minutes. Then I've got just a little bit of cheese. I don't particularly like the taste of cheese, but I do feel like this meal cheese kind of brings everything together. So I still use some cheese, just a little bit over the top. And then it goes back into the oven for another 10 minutes, like I said, and then the meal will be ready. whilst I was watching dinner, I always like to have a show on, so I've been catching up with The Good Fight, one of my favorite legal programs. And then after dinner, this was like maybe an hour after dinner, so there was definitely some time in between, don't you worry. I like to do my evening stretches. I usually stretch either in the morning or in the evening, but because I had to get up quite early for church, I wasn't able to stretch in the morning, so that's why I did it in the evening. And then I've come back to actually lay my bed and finish up tidying my room, because now all of the beddings are dry. So see why I said sometimes it's convenient to have a dryer? I feel like if I was obviously hanging this out normally on a line, this wouldn't be ready for me to do by now. And even though I do have some spare beddings, I just kind of, and I don't know if I'm the only person who does this, but I have a favorite set, so I literally just like to just use my favorite set. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just laying the bed and sorting everything out, and then I'm going to start winding down and getting ready for bed. So that for me just involves prayer. It involves checking in with my mom if I haven't spoken to her during the day, checking in with my siblings as well, checking in with my grandma. And then I normally try to get a book in or something light to just kind of, wind down from technology before I go to bed, but I wasn't able to do that this particular evening. And then I literally just go to bed. So that's how I reset on a Sunday. I hope you like this type of content. Please do remember to subscribe.